Your knowledge and experience is worth something. And that's what I'm banging on about here. It's like, well, because I've been in the construction game 33, 34 years, that's got to have a value. Every time I talk to my legal counsel about anything, it costs me $416 an hour or whatever the hell it is. So for me as a builder, as a professional builder, that's how I view myself, a professional technician. Why am I not able to offer advice and get paid for said advice? How old are you going to be before you start to experience life like you want it? I want to tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there is a better way to do business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Business for Builders podcast. My name's Max Peterson. I'm the CEO at Smith & Sons, and welcome to you if you're in YouTube land as well. Great to have you along for the ride. Look, we're having a really great time putting these together, so I really appreciate you tuning in one way or the other, whether you're flying down the highway between meetings or whether or not you're just chilling out and having a whiskey and maybe doing some research for your business. Welcome. Couldn't do it without you. A couple of quick housekeeping things, like and subscribe, tick the bell, all that sort of stuff. Putting out one of these per week. It's obviously we're trying to add a bunch of value on the fly because there's a shortage, I think, of good information, and I'm really blessed to have people give me some feedback via email and stuff. So yeah, if you're getting something out of it, maybe drop me an email, max@businessforbuilders.ca, and I can, in due process, I will be sure to get back to you. Okay, speaking of emails, actually, before I get started, don't forget B4B or Business for Builders VIP Facebook group. I'm doing some under the hood stuff there, putting some videos together just to sort of show you exactly that, under the hood of what I think, a building company needs to at least set a really good footing or foundation, and then which will enable you to sort of grow safely and securely. So get across there. If you hit the join button, it'll notify me, and I'll if you're a good sort, I'll let you in. So look, on that, just to give me a bit of a heads up too, you might want to, on an email, feel free any way you like. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram, and wherever you like to check us out. But I'd really love to know from our audience or from our viewers what is it that you want to hear. I'm not saying that I know everything. I certainly do not. But I have access to, if someone asks me a specific question, the odds on is I'm going to be able to help out in some little way. So if you got something that's really bothering you, be sure to just shoot me a bit of an email, and maybe I can jump on the whiteboard out there and just buzz through some information in 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and give you my 2 cents worth as to what I think you need to do to put it together. So just on that, I've got an email in front of me here from Bird Dog Constructions Co. Mr. Calvin Winters, thanks, mate, for the email. And mate, I cannot provide a location. He's from the States. Calvin's from the States. I just don't know which neck of the woods he is from. So, Calvin, I appreciate your hitting me up on email. And as we discussed on email, I'm going to for the benefit of everybody, I'm just going to use your email and a couple of questions you had therein. Just cover them off real quick, and hopefully that'll be a benefit. So, Calvin, I appreciate you letting me use what questions you had for the greater good. So here we go. So I'm just going to quickly read Calvin's email. It's a great way to start. Hi Max, recently found your content and have been really enjoying it on my drives between jobs. I started my company back in 2021, and from the start had a dream to scale and grow, and your content is really pushing me to get the proper systems in place to do that right away. Currently, I'm just a one-man shop, but I'm starting to look at bringing on staff and had a couple of questions surrounding estimating. So, good questions, and yet, I'm pretty sure that somewhere in one of the episodes we've covered this off, but let's go and visit it again. So, basically, Calvin's question was, I talk a lot about marking up, and he says that I talk about marking up on materials, but he doesn't hear as much about handling on the labor side. So his question is, should I be marking up the labor on a project as well? The simple answer to that question, Calvin, is absolutely you should. And I think I responded. I can't remember. Maybe I didn't. I think I might have, Calvin. But anyway, here's the answer. Look, you absolutely should. And I've had guys sledging me on TikTok a little bit about this as well, because they deem it to be me ripping off the customer. And yet they don't understand that somebody has to, in the early days, make a request for a quote from a subcontractor. We then have to schedule said, scope of works for the subcontractor into the schedule, into the build schedule. We then have to make sure that he is going to arrive, on time as per the schedule. We then have to make sure that that person has everything that they need both before he gets there and whilst he or she is there to do his or her job. And we also have to quality control to make sure that the product delivered by said subcontractor is at an acceptable level. And then if there's any warranty issues to do with the said subcontractor's work, the noose is around my neck. I'm the guy that has to take the phone call from the client because as we do, like Calvin does, he does a lot of fixed price contracts. They've got a one-stop shop. They're going to call me. They're going to say, Max, my tap's leaking now. It's brand new. Why is it leaking? So I've got to then contact the plumber. He's got to maybe contact his supplier. We might have to order in another tap set. He's then got to talk to me and let me know he's got it. I've got to arrange a time that suits the client, that suits the plumber. This is why we mark up labor. It's not rocket science. Anything that costs you time and money, you have to recover, or it comes out of your bottom line. And if you guys are doing cost plus and you're only marking shit up by 12%, you're really going to have a hard time building operational capital, which is going to allow you to develop a real business with good systems to be able to attract good talent to run the business so the business can pay you in time and in money. So guys and gals, I want to tell you this one more time, that you have to, because you are overseeing that scope of work or that subcontractor, just like you're overseeing ordering materials and procuring materials and getting delivery sorted out and making sure the product's delivered are good, you also do something similar with labor. So categorically, we apply markup percentages to both labor and materials. Now, it's up to you what you think you need. Now, I think I've done a video under the hood where I talked about operational, what your billables needs to be each month. So, if you are trading from home and you're a one-man band, and you don't have a lot of overheads or a lot of fixed expenses, you might be able to, your markup percentage might be a little bit different to what, I typically would if I was trying to build a $3 million business. I need more operational capital to because we don't enjoy the economy of scale like you do if you're a manufacturing house. You can't just benefit from the constant recurring type approach to manufacturing an item. As builders, we don't enjoy that economy of scale. And so we've got to make sure that we understand where the deficit is and know what we need to actually be billing and what we need to be selling each month. So guys and gals, it's hard enough to make money on doing this building gig. You certainly don't want to, short circuit your own cash flow system by literally the minute you go and order a subcontractor, and then you don't have any markup, you're now supervising him for free, essentially. You are now taking any of your supervision costs. That's eating away at gross profit when it absolutely should not. So hope that one answers the question, Calvin. Certainly hit me up if you've got any more emails. If you've got any more questions, be sure to hit me up on email and I will, get back to those. I'm glad you're operating on a fixed price as well. And look, that's the danger, right? The consideration is, Max, if I'm on a fixed price and not a cost plus, I'm actually painting myself into a corner. Well, the challenge with making money on fixed price is that profit is a natural byproduct of good estimating. Now, plus your ability to actually deliver in accordance with what your budgeted scope of work is, or your budgeted estimated amount of materials or what have you. Because if you start blowing it out on the job site and over ordering, or you realize that you've not accounted for enough, then all of a sudden, your profit's going to be compromised. So, doing it on fixed price, you've just got to have a very adequate markup percentage, both on materials and labor. And you've also got to be able to deliver that product, in a timely fashion, because if you don't, you're going to start burning capital, because technically you've only allowed X amount of supervision for that job. Let's say, it might be 3 months worth of that project should be done in 3 months. If you go 4 months, you're now investing more time to finish that project. Therefore, it's eating out of your gross profit and your bottom line, which is not cool. Now, just a quick side note on that markup percentage. A caveat might be, in some cases when we're doing kitchens, the kitchen cost to me might be, say, 20 grand for the kitchen and countertops perhaps. Would I apply a 45% markup percentage on that? I might consider reducing that because all of that scope of work is handled by the cabinet maker. It's only 1 or 2 meetings with him to get the price, 1 or 2 meetings to make sure the job is right, 1 or 2 meetings to make sure that, the job gets done correctly at the back end and is fulfilled in accordance with the quote, and I'm done. So 6 to 8 interactions. Could I afford to take a bit of a hit on that? Possibly. That's up to you to consider. Depends on where your business is at. You might be in a position where you're like, Max, I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole. I need every markup dollar I can get my hands on. Just be careful you don't get too greedy and it compromises your sales. So that's for you to weigh up. My guys right now are they're winning $70,000 to $90,000 jobs with a 45% markup on kitchens. So there's people out there that absolutely they want to know, what do they get and what does it look like and how much is it going to cost me? And then if they're satisfied that they are getting good bang for their buck, they're going to sign up. It's interesting. I just got some drawers fitted to the back of my pickup, and the kind of money that they charged me for that, and when I got them open, I've just sort of loaded with a few hand tools and whatnot this morning, and I was actually, honestly, I was pretty underwhelmed because they're supposed to be the piece de resistance. It's a toolbox, it's a drawer system. But when I started loading it up, the idea was to get the tools out of the back, off the deck and into some drawers under the floor. Really, it really only cut what was on the deck down by a third, other than making it a bit more accessible. But the thing was, this is the shitty part. He told me what it was going to cost, and I thought that was the supply and install. Well, no, it was another, what was that? It would be another 15, 20% on top of my quoted price. He didn't tell me that it was going to be $350 to install. And so, for a client, this is why we do a lot of fixed price, but we make sure we detail it in the specifications as well. You've just got to make sure that you're making money in the process, because if you don't, I don't mind this guy making money on installation. He's just got to tell me that he's going to make money installation. That's all I ask for. All right, question number 2 that Calvin had, moving right along. The other question he had was in relation to what we call our quantity takeoff service, which is essentially, in brackets, our design and quote phase or process leading up to the contract. We talk about getting paid to quote, and Calvin's question was, are you offering a credit on the project if the client goes with you? Now, that to me is just a little bit of bait and switch and witchcraft and sorcery. The straight answer is no, we do not. Because that is a service that we offer, no different to, renovating a bathroom or building an addition. So to me, the design and planning or design and quoting phase is a required aspect of that project, albeit pre-construction. But nonetheless, no, we offer the quantity takeoff service, and what you get in response to that, or what you get when you invest that money, is you get a fixed price, you get a list of specifications so you know exactly what you're getting, and you also get a project duration or a completion date. See, there's the transaction. You give us $500 for the bathroom quantity takeoff or the design and quote phase for that bathroom, and we give you back the exact fixed price, what it's going to be, what you're going to get, and how long it's going to take, or when it's going to be finished by. So there is a transaction capability. And just on that, the QTS is big because if you can transact at a low level, that means they've actually instilled trust. They've got trust in you. Those that transact at a low level, it's highly likely that you will transact at the higher level as far as the contract price goes. And the other thing you've done is you've actually, they're focused on you and your service. You are not a commodity anymore. You're not a can of Coca-Cola. You're a service-oriented business. You will do it different to the next guy down the road. And so what you've done is you've essentially taken that client off the market. They're all focused on you. They've put $500, $850, $1,500, whatever the case is for a certain project. They've invested that in you. And so they're the 3 powerful parts that we use to, get paid essentially to do that design and quoting phase. And of course, anything on top, like interior designers, architects, engineers, geotechs, every land surveyors, everything like that would be essentially a change order on the quantity takeoff service or the design and plan or design and quote phase. That's going to be an extra over and above. We're just talking about your fee. Be conservative, guys and girls. Don't try and close the deal or don't try and make mega bucks off that quantity takeoff service. or that design and quote phase. What you want, it's that token. It's like, okay, they transacted with me. Okay, it's more likely that, they're going to transact with me once I, if I bring the proposal to them within the price range that includes everything that they wanted, it's highly likely they'll go to contract. And we've also got their eyes only. They've got their eyes on us and what we're delivering. So we need to be professional because we're really moving towards actually signing a full-blown building contract. So yeah, make sure you've got, you've got all that sorted out. And yeah, there's no credit going back to them, mate. That's a gimmick, and I don't agree with gimmicks. I'm like, I'm going to do this amount of work. This is what it's going to cost you. This is what you get. Would you like to go ahead with that? That's it. That's the long and the short of it. So my knowledge, your knowledge and experience is worth something. And that's what I'm banging on about here. It's like, well, because I've been in the construction game 33, 34 years, that's got to have a value. Every time I talk to my legal counsel about anything, it costs me $416 an hour or whatever the hell it is. So for me as a builder, as a professional builder, that's how I view myself, a professional technician. Why am I not able to offer advice and get paid for said advice? That's just where I stand. That's what I believe, and a lot of my guys subscribe to that. And of course, it's a great tool that we use to qualify between those that are actually really serious and really value our service and those that are just tire kickers or price checkers. So hopefully that goes well for you. Any more questions about that? Probably in conclusion, I just want to talk to you real quick about the power of design and build. I think if you are just one of these humans that loves to just get a set of plans off somebody and just quotes them, they're treating you like a commodity. If you're the cheapest, you'll get the job. If you're not, you've just wasted all that time. That kind of approach to, getting work and winning contracts, to me, is just a bit of a dead man's game. So think about how you can offer a one-stop shop all under one roof, do a lot of work for clients, and, a lot of legwork for clients, making sure that you get paid, adequately. And I think what you'll find is they love the fact that you do, one call does do it all, and you actually take care of all of those design as well as the construction phases of play. Hope that helps. Don't be shy. Hit me up on email, Max at Business for Builders. Get across to the Business for Builders VIP Facebook group. Hit that, and I'll let you in if you're a good sort. Don't forget to give us some ideas about the Under the Hood program, whatever you need to go, whatever you want me to go into on a whiteboard. I talk a lot of stuff here, but, some cases it's better that I can just maybe get it out on the whiteboard so you can actually view how it all works. If you got anything in that regard, hit me up on email and, max at businessforbuilders.ca, and I will, we'll add that to the list of the Under the Hood videos that we're doing and throwing up on the Business for Builders VIP Facebook page. Have a great day. Go and build a kick-ass business. See you on the next episode. Cheers.